Silence. It's everywhere, yet few people ever stop to notice it. It's in the quiet moments before a storm, in the pause before someone tells you life-changing news, in the deep breath you take before making a big decision. Silence is powerful, but in a world filled with noise, most people don't know how to use it. We live in a time where everyone wants to be heard. Social media, conversations, arguments. Everyone's rushing to speak first, to prove a point, to be the loudest voice in the room. But the people who truly understand power, wisdom, and influence, they know that silence speaks louder than words. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in complete silence? No distractions, no phone, no music, just you and your thoughts. For most people, that's uncomfortable. It feels unnatural because we're so used to filling every empty space with noise. But silence isn't empty. Silence is full of meaning, full of depth, full of power. If you learn to use it wisely, it can change your entire life. Some of the strongest, smartest, and most respected people in history knew how to use silence. They knew when to hold back, when to listen, and when to let silence do the talking. They understood that sometimes saying nothing at all makes a bigger impact than saying everything. Because silence commands attention. It makes people wonder what you're thinking. It forces them to lean in, to listen, to respect your presence. The people who talk the most often have the least to say. They speak to fill the void, not to add value. But the people who speak with purpose, who choose their words carefully, who don't waste energy on meaningless chatter, those are the ones who leave a lasting impact. Silence isn't just about what you don't say, it's about what you do with it. Silence gives you the power to listen. Most people listen to respond, not to understand. They're already thinking about their next words before the other person has even finished speaking. But when you stay silent, when you truly listen, you start to hear what's really being said. Not just with words, but with tone, body language, and energy. You catch things other people miss. You learn more than those who are too busy talking. Silence gives you control. Imagine you're in an argument. The other person is yelling, trying to get a reaction out of you. But instead of responding, you stay calm. You don't engage in the chaos. That silence, it's powerful. It shows strength. It makes the other person feel their own words more deeply. When you don't react emotionally, you stay in control. Silence gives you clarity. When you remove distractions, when you sit with your thoughts, you start to see things differently. You begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. You stop running from your fears, your doubts, your emotions, and instead, you face them. Silence forces you to grow. It forces you to reflect. And in those quiet moments, some of the biggest breakthroughs in life happen. Think about the most powerful moments in history. The second before a great leader delivers a speech. The hush in a courtroom before a verdict is read. The pause in a conversation when someone realizes something profound. Silence isn't nothing. It's everything. It's the space where meaning is created. Most people fear silence because in the quiet, they have to face themselves. They don't want to hear their own doubts. They don't want to sit with their insecurities. So they distract themselves with noise. They keep busy, fill every moment with something to do, just to avoid sitting in silence. But the truth is, the most powerful people in the world aren't afraid of silence. They embrace it. When you master silence, you master yourself. You become more respected. People listen when you speak because they know you don't waste words. They know that when you do talk, it's because you have something worth saying. You become more disciplined. Instead of reacting emotionally to everything, you learn to pause, to think, to control your response. And that kind of control is rare. You become more aware. Instead of rushing through life, you notice things. You see opportunities others miss. You hear the things people don't say. You understand the world in a way most people never will. Silence is one of the greatest tools you'll ever have, but most people never use it. They think power comes from being the loudest, the most aggressive, the most dominant. But real power? It comes from knowing when to stay quiet, from knowing that you don't always have to react, that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is say nothing at all. Think about the strongest people you know. They aren't the ones who explode in anger, who always have to have the last word. They are the ones who stay calm in chaos, who observe before they speak, who let their silence do the talking. You see this in great leaders. They don't rush into decisions. They listen, they process, they analyze, and when they finally do speak, every word matters. You see this in successful negotiators. They know that in a conversation, the person who speaks the least often holds the most power. They let the other side fill the silence, reveal their thoughts, expose their weaknesses. You see this in life's most important moments. Think about when someone delivers bad news. The silence that follows is often heavier than the words themselves. Think about the pause before someone says, "I love you," for the first time. That silence is filled with more meaning than any speech ever could. Silence isn't empty. It's full of power, of meaning, of potential. And those who know how to use it, how to sit in it, how to embrace it, hold a strength that few will ever understand. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, in a decision, in a moment where silence feels uncomfortable, pause. Don't rush to fill the space. Let it sit. Let it breathe. See what it reveals. Because in that quiet, you will find answers. You will find wisdom. And you will find a power greater than words could ever express. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel, because we are building something powerful here. A place of wisdom, of growth, of learning. A place where we don't just talk, we listen. Keep pushing forward, keep growing, and remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. See you in the next video.